For years, you've been telling yourself, this is just who I am. But what if that's the biggest lie you've ever believed?
Every morning, you wake up believing the same thing. This is just who I am. You believe you're shy, or impatient, or confident, or unlucky, or simply not the kind of person who takes risks, starts over, or changes. Eventually, these beliefs stop feeling like opinions. They become facts. But here's the question most people never ask. What if your identity isn't something you discovered, but something you slowly accepted? The habits you repeat, the fears you protect, the excuses you believe. None of them necessarily reveal who you are. They may only reveal who you've been. And if that's true, then the person you've spent years trying to understand may not be the real you at all. Your brain has one job that often matters more than happiness. It wants consistency. Once you believe something about yourself, your mind begins searching for evidence that supports it. If you think you're bad at public speaking, you'll remember every awkward presentation while forgetting the ones that went well. If you believe you're always unlucky, every setback reinforces that identity. Psychologists call this confirmation bias. Your brain isn't trying to discover the truth. It's trying to protect a story that already feels familiar. That's why changing feels so uncomfortable. It's not because you're incapable. It's because every change challenges the version of yourself your brain has worked so hard to preserve. Sometimes, the hardest habit to break isn't a behavior. It's the story you've been telling yourself for years. Most of the labels that define you today weren't created by you. Some came from childhood, some came from failure, some came from people whose opinions became louder than your own. You hear enough versions of, "You're too quiet," "You're not creative," "You're not a leader." Eventually, those words stop sounding like opinions. They begin sounding like your identity. The problem is that labels simplify people. Human beings aren't fixed. They're constantly adapting to new experiences, environments, and decisions. Yet many people continue living inside descriptions written years ago, not because they're true, but because they're familiar, and familiarity is often mistaken for certainty. Identity isn't built once, it's reinforced daily. Every small decision quietly answers an invisible question. Who am I becoming? When you avoid difficult conversations, you're not only avoiding discomfort, you're strengthening the belief that you're someone who avoids confrontation. When you postpone a goal, you're not simply delaying progress, you're casting another vote for the identity of someone who always waits. The opposite is also true. One courageous action doesn't instantly transform your life, but it introduces evidence that your old identity may no longer be accurate. Every action teaches your brain something about who you are, not because actions define your worth, but because repeated actions shape the story your mind believes. One of the biggest myths about personal growth is that belief comes first. People assume they'll act differently once they feel more confident. In reality, confidence usually arrives after repeated action. Waiting to believe in yourself before changing is like waiting to become stronger before lifting the weight. The process works in reverse. Small actions create new experiences. New experiences create new evidence. New evidence slowly reshapes identity. At first, the change feels artificial. Then it feels uncomfortable. Eventually, it feels natural. The version of yourself you admire isn't created by one life-changing decision. It's built through hundreds of ordinary choices that quietly replace an old story with a new one. Many people spend years trying to find themselves, as if somewhere hidden beneath the surface, there's a finished version waiting to be discovered. But identity isn't buried. It's built. You're not uncovering a secret person. You're becoming someone through every decision you repeat. The future version of you isn't waiting somewhere ahead. It's taking shape right now. Every conversation, every habit, every difficult choice, every promise you keep to yourself. The question isn't, who am I? The better question is, who am I practicing becoming? Because practice, not personality, determines much of who you'll become tomorrow. Here's what's fascinating about change. The mirror is usually the last place you'll see it. Long before your confidence becomes visible, long before other people notice, something quieter begins to happen. Your decisions start changing. Your reactions become different. Your excuses lose their power. And one day, without realizing exactly when it happened, you stop introducing yourself with the same limitations that once defined you. Not because someone gave you permission, not because life suddenly became easier, but because you stopped treating your past as proof of your future. The person you thought you were was never permanent. It was simply the identity your repeated choices had built. And just as those choices created it, new choices can reshape it. Maybe the person staring back at you isn't someone you need to escape. Maybe it's simply someone who's still unfinished. If this video made you question the story you've been telling yourself, take a moment to ask, what is one belief about yourself you've accepted without ever questioning? Share it in the comments. Someone else may realize they're not alone. And if you're ready to explore more ideas about psychology, identity, habits, and the small decisions that quietly shape our lives, subscribe to One Choice Away. Because sometimes, one choice really is enough to begin becoming someone new.